As you already know, that today we are having a special guest, and she's one of my favorite speaker. And especially when it comes to something topic like spirituality, there's only one person which is always echo in my mind is definitely Sai Bala ma'am. She's second time on our show, but we couldn't get a better speaker than her for this show, concept. So I sincerely want to thank ma'am on the behalf of you, the Nurse Talk Show team, and thank you very much, ma'am, for sparing time and coming on the show. I don't think that you actually need any introduction, but when I start, showing her CV, so she's a master speaker, she's a director, as you can see that she's a nursing director with Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, Kochi. She's having so many publications on her name, and without taking much time, I really wanted to listen and really wanted to learn this SQ from this master. Thank you very much, ma'am, and over to you.
Good evening to all of you. It's nice to come back again, and I hope I'm clear. This would be a better if it's an interactive session. So maybe I will want you to give me a few feedbacks and maybe use the chat box, because I don't think we can all talk together. So the whole concept of spiritual quotient is my favorite topic. Maybe because I chose to have a spiritual life at the age of 15. And it's been 30 years of my journey to understand spirituality. And I think I have probably done some justice to understanding it. I think the more I understand about it, the less I feel I know about it. That's the beauty of this whole thing, because we call it by different terms, but the experience is very seldom beautifully explained, because it's like this. If you eat sugar and you want to explain the taste of it, how do you do that? You can only say it's sweet, and it's sweeter than this, sweeter than that, but then you have to eat the sugar to really understand how it feels like. So it's simply, spirituality is actually a journey into yourself. If without understanding of who we are, I don't think we will be able to place ourselves in this universe. And without understanding our connection between us and the universe, I don't think we'll be able to connect between anybody else in the best manner we can. And the simple explanation of spirituality would be, it's a uh, science of the self in connection with the universe. And what is our purpose of life? If you go into understanding self, you understand all this. So my simple question to all of you would be, if I ask you, who are you, what would be your answer to me? Who are you? Because this is a very fundamental question. So yeah, human. I'm the consciousness, human being. That's what leaves us. Okay. The few answers that came. Human being, I would pick that because I have a reason to choose that. Because human being is actually the species we belong to. We're not actually, if you say human being means every human being is not the same. There's something different, right, in all of us. So it's only a species, it's not me, the me of me. So what is that? So a lot of people have written, I'm the soul. That's a very real answer. If you understand that much, I think you understand spirituality. The word spirituality probably comes from the word spirit. Spirit is actually what you call your essence. Someone has written that which leaves your body when you die. So it's a life force. What we are, essentially, the essence of what we are is the life force that makes us living. That gives that's like what gives the life to anything. And then what about your body? What about your emotions? What about your intelligence? What are they? Are they a part of you, or are they you? There's a difference. We talk about our body, our mind, our intelligence, right? We don't talk about, when you talk about me and I ask about your body, then you say my body is strong. You don't even though you say I am strong, but if you really go deeper into it, you will say my body is actually stronger. It's not me who is strong, my body is strong. My mind, my emotions are this, my emotions are so. That actually you can actually separate it from yourself, as if like your book, your laptop, your mobile. My mobile is better, my this thing is better. Like that, your body, mind, and instrument in the intellect are three different aspects of yourself. But that things are the things that that also changes. The self, that the soul, is not actually changing. That's only one thing which is stable, constant all the time. Rest everything changes. You age, okay, you're not the same. Your body is not the same when you're 3, when you're 5, when you're 10, you're 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Your body changes quite a lot. Your mind is not the same. When I'm starting to talk, you have a different mind, and after some time it changes. It changes into a different dimension. So it's not constant, right? And the third thing is your intelligence, or your ability to comprehend things around you, whatever you call it. It's like logic. Let's make it simple. So it's your logic. And logic is not the same. Your logic at 3 years is not the same. Your understanding of rising sun and the setting sun is not the same when you're 3, when you're 15, when you're 25. Okay. But the me part of it is always the same. It's not changing. I am me when I'm 1, 3, 5, 15, 20, 35, whatever. That me is this one small thing which is there. So the understanding that the soul is my spirit, or the life force, or the essence of my life, and rest everything are my instruments. To understand that I am the soul. Basically, that understanding is a basic understanding of spirituality. And if I understand that one concept, that I am the soul and my body, mind, and intellect are the instruments to understand my soul, I think that we have done half of the spirituality. Done. And then the rest is, if I am that, then what is everybody else? So everyone has the same body, mind, intellect, and the soul, right? But what is same between all of us? One thing that is actually not very different from each other is your soul. Everything else is different. So that which is uniting us is our soul, the life force, which is there. You call it God, you call it life force, you call it anything. The name will be different from what you are, any religion you follow. The essence is the same. The essence is that the spirit or the life force which exists in you and me are the same. And where is this life force coming from? This life force is coming from the universe. I am coming from the universe. I'm going back to the universe. So actually, the universe and me are connected. And the universe and me are connected. Universe and you are connected. So we are all connected in one web. And that one web is the what you call consciousness, you call the soul, you call the spirit, whatever. Whatever you name, you call it, it's the same. So what is the difference? The difference between you and me is my body, how my body is and your body is. The difference is how my mind works and your mind works. And what is the other difference is how my logic works and your logic works. So when you interact with two people interact, what happens is you can interact at the physical level, you can interact at the emotional level, you can interact at the social level, you can interact in a spiritual level. Physical level is you talk, the way you look at somebody, way you greet somebody, all that, your non and verbal and non-verbal communication is your physical talk, the way when you touch someone, that's a physical communication. What a mental communication or the emotional communication. My emotion speaks to you. You feel sad when somebody feels sad without even saying anything. Okay, when you are sad, your mother knows about it, they're connecting you and trying to, you don't know why, but they do. And then maybe when you don't even know somebody, you just stand, you go into a funeral, okay, everyone is sad, and you just walk in, you don't feel like being happy and merrily go around. No, suddenly we'll all go into that emotion. How do you do that? So suddenly your mind reads, this is what everyone, and I also start communicating the same manner. If I don't do it, then I become out of place, right? Hope I'm clear. You can raise your hands if you don't get my point. Okay. Third thing is logic. So we have intellectual discussions. The intellectual discussions, less of emotions, but the thing is that all three are not independent of each other. And though I'm explaining it in 2, 3 different compartments, all of them don't isolately work. They all work in tandem. Your logic starts talking to another logic. Okay, different level. Intellectual discussions is where the feelings don't speak, but the logic speaks. So when you are a professional discussion, your logic speaks more than your emotion. Okay, but your emotion and the logic together comes when nurses speak together. So emotionally, we are all connected like nurses. And then your intellectual discussions are all in one point. So there's one commonality that we try to find out. So in any communication, there's a physical, emotional, and intellectual component to it. When all three are in the same line, then the communication becomes much more effective. But there is a fourth component, which when the soul communicates to another soul, how do we feel? How do we actually, do you think that any of you have ever experienced a soul communication? We all do every day, but we don't realize. Do you see movies, all of you? Yeah. So if when you're watching a movie, okay, and then you're looking at the most favorite actor there, and then the actor is acting a particular character, and you are in the movie. Okay, at one point of time, somewhere in any of the movies you've ever experienced, that you've lost the sense of watching a movie. You're literally living in that movie, and you come out and you realize, oh my god, I was watching a movie. This is the actor, right? You agree with me? Right. So basically, what happens is at that point of time, we somehow associate and we kind of lose the sense of time, place, and activity. And that's when your soul communicates. And when you do that, most of the time you feel more relaxed. You do it many times when you listen to music, when how can somebody facilitate it? The arts facilitate soul communication, because if my soul is involved in my art form, my soul is capable of dragging you in. If my mind is involved, yes, my mind is capable of drawing you, but my soul is involved, it's more powerful, it's capable of drawing you all into that. So any actor who doesn't act, who becomes the character, is able to draw you into that character, and somehow we literally live that character. And we don't remember that person as a human being, we remember him as a character. But every movie, he's not changing his, though his characterization may be different, but he is, as a person, he's very different from what characters he's acting, right? So similarly, our mind, body, and intellect moves at different points, but the inner person is the same. It's not changing. But how we are able to relate to it is because when you relate to that person, when he is actually coming out with his self, then we are able to see that character rather than him acting out. You understand the difference? Okay. So when you're going into a music concert, you really love music and you go there and you listen to the music. When you listen to the music, you either can pick up the tune, you pick up the words, you pick up the, maybe you don't even pick up any of those. You just listen, you just get the meaning of the words. Sometimes you get none of these. Some of them last with you, some don't. So when you go back into all that, you realize that somewhere, whoever has actually been so involved in music, that person is able to influence you deeply, more deeply. The more deeply you are involved, the more you will be